Hey everyone, and welcome to this modeling spotlight featuring the Sunken World editions. This is a work in progress mod pack which actually features 3 dinosaurs, the Ambulocetus, anomalocaris, and hedonus, all of which I'm probably butchering the names of, but nonetheless it is a brand new mod taken from Ark Survival Evolved and brought over to ASA. The Sunken World being a large aquatic themed map which isn't available in ASA yet, and I do believe that when it is, the Sunken World Edition's creatures might not work on other maps, I'm not entirely sure, but for the time being, we have access to it on the island. Now, instead of making one large video of all 3 creatures jammed together uncomfortably, I'm actually going to do this one at a time. And for today, I want to check out the Ambulocetus, the dog whale. Now, as much as I do love using the sivatherium for look of the dinosaurs, the Ambulocetus is primarily found in the Arctic, and I don't fancy getting Tyrannosaurus, so I'm actually going to go ahead and use a Oreloki again because it's just quite nice, you know, having more opportunity to play with these really cool dinosaurs more often. And I'm hoping that even if it does get roared, I'm actually not sure, it'll put up a bit of a better fight. So, as always, let's go find one out in the wild. Thankfully, I live close to the Arctic already, so this shouldn't take too long. Well, that's only completely terrifying. What is going on here? Hi. Alright, don't mind me, I'll just keep walking past and search for a Ambulocetus. Scary thing. Huh. Well, that is terrifying. That is not an Ambulocetus, that is a Caricature. I'm having a bit of a hard time finding these guys, not gonna lie. And that is really not what I wanted to see. Is that? Oh, it's a wild one. Yeah, I don't want to see that. I think it might actually be the new one. Oh, well that's for another video. We're not looking at that today. But that is terrifying to stumble upon. So I could just be unlucky, but I cannot seem to find a wild Ambulocetus. They're supposed to spawn anywhere where there's a water source within the Arctic biome, and have been known to travel quite far inland, but I've had a good look around everywhere, all over the place, especially that major river, like around, one second, all around here and here, not to mention just the entire outer rim. No luck. Even the little icebergs. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn one in because I'm very curious to see if wild creatures actually aggro onto these, and maybe that's why I've been having a hard time. So I see a couple of Daedons here. Daedons are annoying and aggro onto everything. So I believe it is cheat spawn. Nope. Cheat summon. There we go. Level 55. Oh, that's a really cool coloration. That's a 150 Daedon. Okay, so things do not aggro to it, and it itself seems to be quite a calm creature. Let's just quickly wipe out the Daedon. It's going to feel bad killing a 150. Okay, well, that's a fun battle, and the Ambulocetus just stood there chilling the entire time. So, are you guys aggressive? It seems to be... Oh my god, your eyes are a little bit scary. I have heard that these are, I think, getting upscaled for ASA, but otherwise, you're a funky lad. You're very peaceful. Level 55, got a very cool tail, really gorgeous colours actually, and it seems to be peaceful. Okay, so do you flee? No, you definitely do not flee. Oh god, you're quite the attack speed actually. Quite the knockback as well. Alright, well I guess this is what we're doing then. So these are a knockout tame, as you can tell. Do a little bit of damage, but they are indeed a knockout tame. Go ahead and get my, there you go, that tracked up for you guys all to see. Oh, for a 55, yeah, it's very low tall paw. Then again, I am using a 200% long neck rifle with trank dart, so it seems like that these guys, with a bit of trapping or just a bit of, you know, clever play, can get these really early. Okay, cool, cool. So they're definitely not a late game creature, which reminds me. So, Ambulocetus, level 23. Wow, these are really accessible. Fiber, hide, and metal ingots. Very low metal ingots. Good to know. So, they require regular kibble and otherwise just good old meat. And what kind of timescale are we looking at to tame this? Its torpor is draining, yeah, at a moderate pace. I'm on ×1 taming, so we'll see how long this actually takes. Though it's very good to know that seemingly nothing aggro, so maybe a bigger creature like a UT or a Kano, I didn't really check that. But it's good to know that these are quite safe, because I was worried when I read that they can spawn further inland. That seemed like prime territory to get harassed by the wildlife, because the Arctic is a mess. It's chaotic. So it's nice to know that you won't have the worst time taming what is meant to be quite a early-ish game creature, I believe. Ah, it just took its first bite. It got about 21% from one kibble at 1 times default official taming rates. So that means you're going to require a little bit of narcotics, but otherwise this will not be a very long tame at all. This took about, I want to say 2 minutes for the first bite. And there we have our brand new blubbery puppy. That took about 30 minutes, I want to say, which is really not bad. So, first of all, go ahead and grab that saddle, which, as a reminder, the saddle is indeed level 23, so very, very quite early, actually. Oh, look at you then! Okay, I need to mention the face. It was mentioned by one of the developers, because the Sunken World is created by like a giant group of people. One of the developers did mention that the face is intentionally derpy, and they succeeded, respectfully. I do really love the markings of patterning. It's interesting, I like it. I really like the speckledness in particular. Now then, so let's go ahead then and quickly switch out to my scuba. Have a bit more free curry. And let's take this out for a spin then. So, you are speedy. Oh, this is very speedy. Ooh, okay. So, this, oh my god, the turning. What the hell is up with the turning? Okay, that is honestly too good. Personal opinion. Oh, hello, whales. Personal, sharks. Okay, personal opinion, the turning, it's gotta be nerfed. That is absolutely mental. I like the fact that it is meant to be like a fast turner in general, but that's too much. That's like, it's basically like no clip. Okay, so with this being such a early game creature, I'm very curious about its combat capabilities. So first of all, 81 damage. That is, for a very low level creature, that is not bad at all. For a low level knockout, that is, quite respectable actually. And it's just so fast. It is really, really speedy. The fact that it's also amphibious as well, so I can just quickly, you know, hop onto land, grab a couple of pearls while I'm here. There we go, and then jump back down again. That is incredibly convenient. I feel like immediately this is just completely replacing the Ichthyosaurus, the dolphin, which I'm not even mad about. I'm not a massive fan of creatures, like modded creatures that completely replace, you know, previous content, but there are some creatures in this game that are just sad. And the dolphin, the Ichthyosaurus, is definitely one of them. So the fact that this completely, like in my opinion, completely replaces that immediately, it goes to show there's more of a flaw of the dolphin than there is the, you know, the design of this creature. I would say that for something that can just crawl onto land, this is a bit too fast. But, I mean, fair. Oh, one thing I've not done yet is check the animation, and the swimming animation, oh, it's so cute, I like it. Oh, good news, jellyfish. I think there's a glaucus nearby, judging by the amount of jellyfish. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, no, the swimming animation is really, really chill. Let me just, you know, not get hit by jellyfish. There we go. Actually, it is a whale. Well, actually, I believe this one, the ancestors of whales. I might regret this, but yeah, okay, makes sense. Yeah, you know, we gotta find these things out. Hopefully it can flee quite quickly, like get out of its grasp. Yeah, it did in fact. Okay, cool. So at least if you get zapped by a jellyfish, you actually can get out if you're, you know, proactive. Okay, so let's have a look then and see if the Ambulocetus actually does have any abilities. So we've already seen the left click. We know that it can move quite crazily. Is there a right click? Oh, it seems to be wanting to do something when I hit it. Oh, no, maybe that's just coincidence. I thought the animation jumped. C? Oh, I see what's going on. Okay, when I hit my right click, I think it actually triggered the fast learner buff, which you can see there. This is the same thing as you'd get from petting a Lystro. So this not only replaces the dolphin, but also the Lytrosaurus, which, again, I'm actually kind of all for, because the Lystro is a cute concept, but they're so slow, you can't even pick them up. They're just lame, and I like the idea that you actually have a proper mobile fast learner creature. C, on the other hand, enables metabolic rush, and this allows you to go faster, which I'm not actually noticing much of a difference. No, there is a slight difference. I take that back. There definitely is a slight difference to this, and this will cause the Ambulocetus' hunger to deplete faster, which it doesn't really. I mean, it is depleting, sure. Hold on, wait for our stamina to regen. Which just regenerated it instantly, good lord. I mean, why would you not ever have it on. The metabolic rush really doesn't take much hunger at all. I'll just have this on constantly. Okay, interesting. Can it at least like eat meanwhile? In fact, I'm not really seeing it eat at all. Okay, that's a little bit sus. But could you at least force feed it during metabolic rush? Yes, you can. Okay, that's a little bit interesting. X does nothing, R does nothing, Q does nothing, control. Oh, no. Okay, so it is quite a simple creature then, actually. It really is just a glorified version of, in my opinion, two of the most useless creatures in the game. Not, okay, useless is the wrong word to use, but two creatures that are just severely overlooked because they're just so old and outdated, and the Ambulocetus seems to combine both of them into a much more appealing creature design. So, whereas I want to say like, ooh, that's a little bit strong, ooh, you know, it makes these two creatures worthless, I don't know, it makes me want to actually utilize these abilities. I never use Fast Learner because I just can't be bothered. And having a creature like this I can actually do things with would make me so much more tempted to use the Fast Learner buff. It's a little thing. Oh, you are definitely getting owned by a shark though. Good, so they're not strong fighters, as they shouldn't be. Oh, actually, here's a thought. Do they... Yeah, creatures definitely aggro. Those Carnos are... They wanted my bacon. Okay, what about direwolves? Yeah, they definitely want to aggro onto the Ambulocetus as well. Which does remind me, let's just quickly spawn in another one. Oh, and it gets stuck as well. That is really not ideal. No! Will they aggro onto the wild one? No, the wild one is just chilling there. So I think the wild ones really are just ignored by the wildlife, which is handy when you're looking to tame one. Because obviously when it is tamed, that's when you're going to have to really worry about it for sure. Can you shoot off the back of these? You can. Yes, you can shoot off the back of these. So these would be great scouts. They'd be great for getting red deep sea loot crates, even, you know, when you're much later level, they'd be great for that kind of thing. My major concern is that it's just a bit too fast and the turning is ridiculous. It really, really is. But otherwise, I love this. I actually love this. Again, even though that it does completely remove two other creatures in the game, I feel like ARK and ASA have kind of moved on. A lot of the creatures we're getting lately are just getting more and more and more complex, and it makes things like the last show feel ever more dated. I am honestly all up for this. It feels like a more modernized creature. It feels like something actually fitting the current balance of the game. And again, like, it really just highlights the issue of some of the older creatures. I know a lot of people want Wildcard to do TLCs. I want Wildcard to do TLCs, but there's a reason why Paleo ARK is doing it instead. Oh no, the run animation is so precious as well. I really do love that little gallop. So in terms of harvesting, as far as I know, I don't believe these guys have any like harvesting capabilities. So nothing from like silica pearls or ammonite bile or jellyfish biotoxin, which I'm quite glad about because I think, you know, having that on top of everything else would just kind of push it further and further into kind of like needlessly strong. I think right now it's a good niche of just being a speedy terrestrial creature, and yet still not as good as the Baryonyx, which is also another speedy ocean terrestrial creature, because at least the Baryonyx is great in caving and it can stun. The stun does make it just that much better. But yeah, no, I like these so far. I want to check out what the baby looks like. 4-hour gestation, right, and that is on, I believe, default breeding rates, so that's gonna take a while. Thankfully, due to the magical power of admin commands, this is what a baby looks like. I know that's really cheeky, I don't want to wait 4 hours, but this is what the baby ones look like. So they look like just a downscaled version of the actual adult variant. So not really anything particularly special, but hey, it works, it works. And otherwise, we wander up to this and give it a little pet, and there we go. It seems to have about the same range as the Elasiosaurus, which, to be fair, makes sense. I think if they made it any larger, it'd probably be just not particularly necessary. Yeah, it's definitely a very small range. And otherwise, I do think that's the Ambulocetus pretty much covered. There's not really a lot of abilities to cover. But I didn't want to rush out a video and shove all 3 creatures in, so I wanted to take my time, do it one at a time. I think that's easier for you to digest as well, hopefully, fingers crossed. So with all of my experimenting complete, we'll move on to my final thoughts, and that is, I actually really like this. I do think it is a more appropriately modern asset to the game. It's also worth noting that the Sunken World plans to have, I think, over 50 additional creatures, and I think I read that a lot of them are going to be quite speedy. So these at the moment do seem too fast, but maybe in the grand scheme of things are going to balance out within their own mod, because it's just going to completely overwhelm the ocean in a good way, new content. And maybe like all the other creatures will then just feel that same datedness that all the other land creatures in Ark feel nowadays compared to the new ones, like, you know, the Gigantoraptor, the Currature, the Rhinianatha. I think it's more of a testament to just how slow and boring and behind the times that the ocean content currently is. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But one big thought that occurred to me is that as handily quick and really powerful, you know, for its niche, how excellent as its niche the Ambulocetus is, you do have to go in the Arctic. So even though the saddle is obtainable at level 26, you have to go into the Arctic, and these guys can wander far inland, so you're really gonna be, you know, at risk. Hell, even in the mid-game, you're still gonna do a Tyrannus, Gigas, Curchers, hordes of direwolves and daedons, and if you're running mods, obviously Meraxes will give you a run for your money. So yeah, thinking about it, with the current state of the game, I actually really like these. And it's nice for them to bring back an ability that felt irrelevant, and it can just be like gently relevant again. Right then, and now that's me done. Thank you so much for watching. Give me your thoughts on this one. Let me know if you disagree or if you agree or have any extra thoughts. Maybe I missed anything out. And otherwise, I'll be checking out the hedonus and the anomalocaris in a future video. So again, thank you so much. Take care and have a wonderful day. Cheers.